All right, so you've done all the hard work. You've gotten your data into a database, it's organized, it's clean. But now what? How do you get it back out? Well, today we're going to show you how to unlock your data, how to back it up for safekeeping, and how to share it with pretty much any tool you can imagine.
You know, this is a question that everybody who uses a database asks at some point. You've got all this amazing, valuable information sitting there in your tables. But if you can't move it, if you can't protect it, it can kind of feel like it's trapped behind a digital wall. Well, in this explainer, we're going to tear that wall down.
When you really think about it, it all boils down to two huge problems, right? You've got to protect your data from disappearing, and you've got to be able to share it with the rest of the world. Let's dig into that.
Okay, so on one side, you've got that stomach-dropping fear of data loss. You know, one wrong command, a system crash, and poof, everything you've worked on could just be gone. So how do you protect against that? And then on the other side, a database can't be an island. You need to get that data out to other people, into other tools, maybe a spreadsheet for your colleague. How do you build that bridge?
Let's tackle problem number one first, protecting your data. And for that, our hero is the .dump command. I want you to think of this command like it's creating a perfect, to-the-letter blueprint of your entire database. It is your absolute ultimate safety net.
And here's the really cool part. Dump doesn't just copy the data. No. It creates a simple text file that has every single instruction needed to rebuild your database from absolute scratch. We're talking the create table commands, all the insert commands for every row, literally everything.
And making this blueprint is so simple, it's almost funny. It's just two steps. First, you use the .output command. You're basically telling SQLite, hey, anything you're about to do, don't show it to me, just save it into this file. Then you just type .dump. That's it, you're done. And check this out. This shows the transformation perfectly. On the left, that's your database with its tables. On the right, that's the plain text file. You can actually see the SQL commands in there to rebuild the whole thing. A complicated database turned into one simple, portable text file. How cool is that?
And it gets better. You don't have to dump the whole shebang every time. If you only want a backup of one specific table, you can just tell it which one. Or what if you just want the structure, like an empty shell of the database with no data in it? Then you can just use the .schema command. It's incredibly flexible.
Okay, problem one is solved. Your data is safe. Now let's move on to problem two, sharing. For this, we need a common language that basically every data tool on the planet can understand. And in the data world, that language is CSV. Just think of it as the universal data translator. CSV just stands for comma-separated value, and it really is that simple. It's a text file. Each line in the file is a row from your table, and all the values in that row are just separated by commas. Its simplicity is its superpower. It's why everything from Excel to complex programming languages can read and write these files without breaking a sweat.
Now this is a two-way street, right? Exporting is when you're getting data out of your database and packaging it up into a nice little CSV file. Importing is just the reverse. You're taking a CSV someone gave you and loading all that data into your database.
For now, let's just focus on exporting, because that's probably what you're going to be doing most often. The goal is simple. You have a table in SQL, and you want to get it into something like Excel or Google Sheets.
This process takes 4 little commands, but each one has a really clear job. First, you flick a switch, .mode CSV. This tells SQLite, okay, from now on, I want you to think in commas. Then, and this is super important, you type .header on. This makes sure the first line of your file has all your column names. After that, just like we did with dump, you use .output to name your file, and finally, you just run a normal select query to grab the exact data you want.
And boom, here's the magic. On the left, that's our table inside SQL. On the right, that's the temp.csv file it created. Look how clean that is. The first line is the header, just like we wanted, and every line after that is a row from our table, all neat and tidy with commas. You could open that in a spreadsheet program right now. So, that's getting data out. But what about going the other way? Let's say your boss emails you a CSV file and you need to get it into your database to do some real analysis. Well, good news. It's even easier. Seriously, it's just 2 steps. First, you set the mode to CSV, just like before. Then, you use the .import command. You just tell it the name of the file you're importing and the name of the new table you want to create. SQLite just handles everything else for you. It's awesome.
And just like that, the walls are down. By getting comfortable with just a couple of simple commands, you've completely unlocked your data. It is no longer trapped.
So the most important thing to take away is this. You now have the right tool for the right job. When you need that perfect bulletproof backup that you can restore from, you use .dump. And when you need to share your data with the rest of the world, you export to CSV. 2 problems, 2 really elegant solutions.
You know, this really is a game changer. Your data now has security and it has mobility. So the final question isn't about how to get your data out anymore. The real question is, with this new freedom, what incredible things are you going to do with it?